The key to a bound buttonhole is to clearly mark your button. So on the right side of the fabric, let's say this was something you're working on, you would mark out your size of the button you were making. I've made a big one so you guys can see it. Yours would probably half that size. And so what you want to do is on the right side of the fabric, you would mark out your four corners and make your lines. And then you would use the facing of your bound buttonhole over the top. Sometimes you can clearly see your lines through the fabric, sometimes you can't. If you can't, then you want to use your pins to help you find the corners of your bound buttonhole. So working from the back of your fabric, you could just put a pin all the way through, and then you would make a little marking where you would see your pin come out on every corner, and then you could redraw your box. Now I can see mine, so I'm just going to sew right through the top of it. You would lay your facing on top, and starting at the center of one long line and using a very short stitch, you're going to sew till you get to one corner and you want to stop. And then you're going to pivot. Now the important thing is to not go past your marking. So if you have to manually turn your wheel when you get close, then do that. And then lift your presser foot. And then go down. Creating your bounding box. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cut along the middle of that and then out towards your corners. So I like to fold my fabric over and I cut, and then I cut into the corner but not through the stitching. If when sewing your bounding box you stitch past your corners, you're going to have a terrible buttonhole. You're going to need to restart. You never want to go past, and you want to make sure that you use small tiny stitches so that you don't go past your area. Once you've cut it, you're going to pull your facing through the hole. Like that. And then you want to give this a good press. Once you press it out, you're going to use the back of the fabric, the portion that we pulled through the hole, to create the lips. Now this takes a little bit of practice and wiggle room, so don't get frustrated. It takes time before you get it right. But essentially you want it to be even on both sides. So you fold it so that it's even, and you play with it until you get it the way you want. And then once you have it where you want, you're going to pull this aside and you're going to sew through that little line. That's just going to secure your pleats that you just made in place so that they don't move. And then you're going to do the other side. And now you have a bound buttonhole.